All right, hello everyone. So let's take a look at the market. Now, I've already posted the Astro hours and the swing days for the week and the Astro hours for today on Sunday, which is what I'm trying to do. But sometimes it's early morning Monday, my time. So that's still about 8 to 9 hours before New York opens up. All right, so this is what we have on gold. And that's the monthly there. All right, so let's do that. And this is the zone. All right, so we're still in an uptrend. As you can see, the market broke out, not out of the channel, but also out of that sideways market we've been going through for a few months there, as you can see, several months. So the market breaking out, we'll see how this month closes. If the month closes above, as you can see, then this is the beginning of a trend. It's just going to keep pushing up and up. So we've got a bit of room to come back into. So if the market goes up as intraday traders or short-term traders, I don't mind selling this off into 2,153, like pretty much Friday's low and the low of last week. Okay, I added these lines because it just makes life easier, and then we can just see where previous days, weeks, lows are. Now also we've got this 2070. Why? Because that's the goodbye kiss on the monthly. So we're on the 25th of March. So come April, we might come back to retest here with the monthly and then go up. And then we've got this huge target up there, 2,350. And then we've got this 2,245, I think, 73, 2,220, and 77, 2,245. So I'm going to just put that 2,220 there. Okay, so that's on the weekly. So this is also a place where we can sell off. Now, this is like, as you can see, the market is like going down. So we should come down to a level and then we'll see what the price action at those levels are going to be. Why? Because if the price action leads us into a fake breakout, then we'll want to get back as buyers from the lows. Okay. And the other thing is, what I'm thinking, what I'd like to think anyway, is if the market comes back up to Friday high or last week's high, okay, previous week's high, then, selling off the highs is not a bad idea either. Okay, so in any case, we'll have to check it out. Now, Monday's a swing day for gold. Okay, so if we go up first in order to sell off, I don't mind doing so. Okay, so if we come down first into Monday, that's also okay. That's also okay in order to go long. Now, if you want to buy the lows, you can at 2,153 if the market sweeps these stop levels, because everybody's stop level is going to be below the previous day low. So the PST level is 2,153, which is right there. Okay, so if we come down, go up, come down, that's the kind of setup we could look for. Or we go up first and then sell off, and then we continue to kind of drift down in this formation, which I don't mind doing until, like I said, that 2070 on the monthly. So both are okay to do. With Astro Technical Analysis, you can trade both directions. Just get your price and time right. Now, this is Friday high. So if the market pops up here, does a sweep of the stops, or goes up here, does a sweep of the stops, it's Astro hours. Selling is okay. Now today, 10 o'clock is not a bad hour. All right, I've posted it there anyway, 10 to 10:15. So that time zone is not a bad place to look for a trade. In my opinion, that's like okay. So if the market is, if you're going for an intraday trade, all right, And if the market is like down, down around here, might not be a bad idea to kind of like go up with it, because this looks like not a bad place to take us somewhere, at least until lunchtime. Now, from then on until New York opening, which is like 5 p.m. my time, all right, it's going to be the 4:55 to 5:25 zone. There, you got to be a bit careful, because that's where change is going to start to come. Okay, from 4:55 to 5:20, and then that should kind of like take us to 8:30, and you got to be careful at 8:30, and that could keep pushing if it's a breakout until the closing, which is 10 past 11 my time. I've got a target there, which could also take us slightly into Asia around 1:45 a.m. my time. Now, also, and that's it. There is no also. There is a time converter buddy, which I added to the post. Let me just, which you can actually add. All right. So here, for example, whatever your time is, okay. If you're in Melbourne and at London, Istanbul, whatever. So this is my time zone here. So whenever I put something on, you can just check. So for example, today my time, what do I have? I got like 4:55 my time. That's my 5 o'clock. So it's 2 p.m. London, 10 a.m. New York, and so on. All right. So this is like easy and nice and easy. You can just set it up for your for your setup, and that's it. So you can use that as well. All right. So that's gold. Let's take a look at the euro dollar. Now, euro dollar, I said we could sell this zone last week, and I said be mindful for the stop sweeps, but because we do financial astrology, those were the hours. As you can see, the market was at the tops there, breakdown, top again, push down, retracement again, push down. So if you went down, and that's a nice peak formation, as you can see, the market just swinging down. That's on a reversal, bang. Impulse wave, market going up, and then we've got a push down, coming all the way in to the Astro hours in the evening. All right, so that's nice and easy there, as you can see. If I just refresh this now, this is how we're looking at the market. So what to do? Now with this as well, if you take a look, this is the previous week's low. So the market probably will want to go up and retest something. Euro dollar tomorrow, you got to be careful for Tuesday and Wednesday on this one, especially Wednesday. Looks like this might be a reset for Wednesday. Now, we're in this zone. We talked about it. The first goodbye kiss is 42. That's 1.0826. 1.0826, which the market's pretty much done. That's your week daily pivot there. All right. So pretty much done. It hasn't actually, it's fallen a little bit shy off that. So it looks like we might go above that. Okay. We might go above that and then sell off. So if the market does come up into a weekly pivot this week, if we go up to the weekly and so on, might not be a bad idea. If we come down, sweep these lows, take out the stops, because it hasn't taken out the stops from what I can see. No. So if the market comes down, sweeps up the stops, and then closes back in, then you can look for a long. What you need to do here is, this is a good impulse wave, but remember the longer time frame. Remember what we said, want to push this down. Okay. So with the euro dollar, remember our bias for the long term is down. Why? Because we're looking for an A, B. So it's an A, B, C coming all the way back down, at least into this zone here, the blue lines. Okay. So we've got a target down there, 43 initially, 1.0750. So if the market goes up, coming down into 1.0750 for us is logical. And that's going to be there. So that's going to be a target on the weekly, all right? So that's a nice push down. If the market goes back up again, selling, I think, is okay. Here, this is also a buy zone, all right? As you can see, that's the impulse wave there, all right? This is why market has buying opportunity here, which is fine, okay, which is fine. We don't mind, but as you understand where I'm going at with this, okay? So we've got lower highs and haven't broken down yet, but we do have lower lows here, as you can see. So the minute the market kind of starts to break down, we should go further down. And on the monthly, we have that breakdown here, as you can see. Okay. So we should push further down. And also, if you think of this as an impulse wave up, we should, we should come back into a discount zone, which should be around this 1.004. And I'll tell you why. There. Okay, so we should come to closing this gap here. So we need to find ourselves down here, okay? And that's why having those targets down there is, I think, is the way to go. All right, so that's that. That's that. All right, so as you can see, we've got a bit of room to come down into this zone still. If the market goes back into also 0846, which is right there on your weekly pivot, this is also going to be a sell zone. All right. So at Astro hours, I'm okay to sell. If I find myself at Astro hours down here, going up is okay until the swing day. That is going to be London opening here. So with London opening, these are Astro hours at London opening. So if the market is down here, and then we're kind of like pushing up, it's okay to go up with this on an intraday trade. You can follow it to the daily, up here onto the weekly, and so on. Just mark your levels and just follow it through and be a little conservative. Okay, so that's New York session high. Last week, London is there, Asia is there, the weekly pivot is there. So you can just follow it through that way. Okay. And if we end up somewhere on the highs on a swing day, right, Tuesday, Wednesday looking like a better day, but Tuesday, Wednesday, both okay. If we're up there somewhere, then we're looking to sell off. SP 500. Now, SP 500 Friday. Remember, with the indices, Thursday was a swing day. So Thursday was a swing day. And Friday, if you sold off, you should have been okay. You know, that's basically it. What else can I say? All right, because at the end of the day, once Thursday did the high, Wednesday mucking around here is just, at the Astro hours, it's just saying sell me where you can. And that's how the market sold off. So we want to be going down with this further and further down. So let's just refresh. And here we are. Okay. So coming back all the way into these lows is an option. All right. Now today also with the SP 500 Monday, Tuesday is important. If we go back up, I think selling is an okay option on these as well. Okay, so if the market goes up, selling at Astro hours, I think is okay to do so. And that's basically it. Where can you do that? LCL1, 5255. 5255 is going to be up here. 5255, which is just above the stops. So this is good level, 5255, isn't it? All right. So if we get back up there and then close back in, you want to be selling. All right. So look for a formation where the market goes up and then comes back in. And then if it kind of goes sideways, consolidates, Astro hours, we just want to short it down. Okay. Also up here, you got previous week's high. So market can sweep that as well. If they do and then come back in, I think selling is a better option. if you want to go long with this in London, that's your time period, 10 to 10:15 my time, where the market can actually see a move. And that could actually really take us to a level where the market will want to sell off in New York. Okay. That'll be like pretty much the same for the other indices, but we'll take a look at it anyway. Let's take a look at Dow Jones. Now, guys, remember, this video is assuming you guys know what to do with your technical analysis and money management, okay? So, when I'm doing the video, I'm just saying what we can do and how I'm looking at the market. But you guys need to understand technical analysis and money management. And if you don't, these Astro hours are not going to really work for you. And I say that up front, frankly, because you can't do this without technical analysis and money management. Now, last week I said we could probably sell off from here, but the market broke out, okay, and it just went up, okay, with the news, obviously, right? But there was nothing to sell at those levels at the Astro hour. The Astro hour last week, when just before the news, was here, and we had the early morning one there. And I said the market will probably take us to 11:05, and the Asia session, that's your 11, and that's your Asia session there. As you can see, the market just going all the way up in there. All right, so that's your Asia session there. Market going all the way in, and in New York, taking everybody out of the game, and that's an engulfing. Okay, so looking to go lower is what we want to do. As you can see, right on the PST line of price there as well. So we do want to kind of go down. Maybe back into the 67. Now that's on the weekly, which is 38,955. So you got to mark them in here, 38. See, this was a target from last week. 38,955 is here. All right, so this is going to be a target down for us as well. That's a nice impulse wave down. So market going up and then selling off into there is a better idea. Obviously, we don't sell the lows. We always want to sell high. Okay, so on the daily, what's that? Let's see, the low, 39,543. So we should get back into this zone. All right, so this is a zone where we can get back into, and that's fine as well. So if the market comes up here, we're okay to sell. That's the first level, but just match it to your Astro hours, okay? Now, normally I'd like to see a nice ABC up, but sometimes the market just goes sideways, which is fine. So if it does, this is going to be our first resistance zone here, and selling off is going to be this zone here. All right, so we can definitely keep this zone on the radar. Okay, now this I can get rid of. I can actually do this. Just gonna change this actually. We'll just make this a little tighter for us. This will be the zone. All right, so the market can go up because there's stops up here. You might want to just sweep. You need to look out for sweeps until 8:30 p.m. from 7:50 to 8:30. Okay, looking out for sudden moves. But if the market picks a direction, it should go until 10 past 11, which is going to be around closing. Okay, so if we end up somewhere high and then the market pushes down, it should push down until 11. Or if we're somewhere low, then the market should kind of like, go up until 11. Okay, and that's how it is. Now, remember the swing day for Dow Jones, Monday, Tuesday. So if we hit a low, we can go up. Or Monday, Tuesday, it could be Monday. We could hit a level, muck around there. Tuesday, make the same high or slightly higher or whatever, and then from a higher level sell off as well. Okay, but if it keeps pushing down on Monday, then we should hit a low. Then on Tuesday, we'll look for going up. Okay, so we'll keep it up in perspective. But if you think about it, we should, let's get rid of this here. Market should come back at least here. And that's going to be 39,245. 39. 39. Where are you? 39,245 is up there, which is enough to sweep stops and kind of like push back up as well. Okay. And that's going to be what? We'll keep that in mind for the moment. Okay. On the daily, that's all the way down 45, which is 38,805. And we won't be going down until we break all of that. So 38,805 is also for us a good zone to be dealing with here. All right, so that's Dow Jones. Okay. So be mindful for swing days. If we're at swing days, what we want to do is obviously look for the lows to go up. If we're up, look for the highs to go down. Now, same thing with NASDAQ. Let's take a look. NASDAQ also has Monday, Tuesday important. Same with SP 500 and Dow Jones. No, that's nice to see. 64. Let's take a look at the weekly. Weekly back up on the candle, but not as high as the previous high. If you look, the high was 71.35 last week on the weekly. Okay. And the one before that was 71.69. Right. So, and now we're at today. So these highs are actually not so bad to look for. A reversal maybe. Let's get rid of this. Okay. We're still in this zone, as you can see, right? And all that the market's really done has swept the high. Okay, so we're still in that. The market closed last week underneath that. So from these high levels, looking for a short at 64, 18,449, 18,449. Well, it's pretty much there. Let's do this. All right, so if we get back up into this zone, selling, I think, is okay to do so today and tomorrow. All right, maybe into this, it's this zone. And that's it. Okay, so pushing up there. This is also, let me just do this there. All right, as you can see, the market is going sideways, so you want to sell the highs. Okay, if you want to buy the lows, where do you want to do that? Well, that's the high of last month. Let's do this. Yeah, I'd suspect we need to come down. Okay, and that's back into here, the weekly. So this should actually come down. If we get a fake breakout, you can also sell at 18,563. 18. And this will be a stop sweep level. There. Okay, but I'd say in New York, we need to wait till New York. The time zone, like I said, 5:25, and also 7:40 to 8:30 are okay for it the highest to sell off. So it might like sell down, go up, sell down, something like that into the closing, and I'm okay to do that. I'm okay to trade that way. With the indices, that's I think the way we should be going. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. And right now, Bitcoin, last week it was Wednesday and Thursday. That's your Thursday, and that's your Wednesday. So Wednesday, whopper. Thursday, beautiful down, coming all the way into the weekend, and so on. All right. So as you can see, after that day, so we had a 1, 2, 3 day down, and then market went up, retraced, going back up, retesting. So what to do with Bitcoin? Now this looks like a breakout, but it already hit the first target. Okay, so a bit of a drama. Let's see, weekly. What I'd do with Bitcoin is, today's Monday, it's a swing day for Bitcoin. If we find ourselves at high levels you want to sell off at, you can. Where can that be? Maybe up here. It's either going to be around here or slightly higher. What have we got? 68,669. 68. Let's bring this down. Around here, 669. So just around there somewhere. So if we hit previous week's high, sweep, and then sell off, it could be a level to sell off at. That's one. The second is going to be your LCL 176.72. So 70,672, which is around here. So somewhere around there. Okay, so there are levels where the market can sell off at Astro hours if you want to do that. So Monday being a swing day, finding a high somewhere to push down again, like here, is not a bad idea. Okay, and that will kind of like, that's the previous week's high, that's the PST level. So selling off these levels is okay. On the weekly, it's just too far out at the moment. LCL1, so yeah, that is just too far out. Okay. 91 is also too far. So if you're using the 8 a.m. strategy, just wait. Just wait according to the price coming up here if it does. Going down into a weekly might take us to 60, 56, 121. 56. 121. 56. Around there. Okay. So those are the sell zones. And if the market starts to break down, you can sell off. Also, what you can do is wait for your Astro hours. If your Astro hours coincide with a breakout, then you can, then you can sell off as well. Okay, so you can just kind of sit tight. If it's like up here and then breaking out into an Astro, if it breaks down, sometimes it comes back for a retest. We call that a goodbye kiss. If it's an Astro hour again, you could also do that as well. Until then, though, I wouldn't muck around with it. Like I said, today's hours are posted already, so you're just going to have to work off the hours. All right, so New York opening in the evening are okay. 10 o'clock also, 10 to 10:15. That zone is also all right. So be careful there. All right, so those hours are not bad to trade off. Pre-New York until New York, like 10 o'clock, it's a bit tricky. So in between there, I don't have anything. So we're either going to go up somewhere and then start to push down until New York, or it's going to break out. And if it breaks out, don't stand in front of it. Don't stand in front of it because obviously it wants to go somewhere. And the only time it has a chance to reverse is going to be New York. And that's the same thing for all of them because that's how we're working with Astro Hours.